Very dramatic day in court as a young man
outsmarted police across Australia.
Brittany Smallwood has more on today's sentencing for us. Hi, Brittany.
And stole $10,000 from unsuspecting victims.
I didn't mean to kill Austin. Ashley, I really didn't.
But when everything seemed impossible, her fate took a shocking twist. Don't miss the jaw-dropping conclusion of this wild ride. In March 2006, Jodi Harris, a woman with a history of deception, began a crime spree across Australia that would leave many victims in her wake. Known as the Queen of Con, Harris was a master at stealing identities and funds without leaving a trace. As she boarded a flight from Melbourne to Brisbane, a flight attendant, Leah Jury, unknowingly became one of her targets. Leah was flying business class, relaxed and excited for her vacation. Little did she know that beside her sat Jodi Harris, a woman who would later rob her of thousands of dollars. Throughout the flight, Harris kept a close eye on Leah, making her feel uneasy, but Leah thought nothing of it. Harris, a seasoned con artist, lied about her background, claiming to work at a bank and come from a wealthy family. Once on the luxury cruise Leah was set to enjoy, she realized that something was wrong. Her driver's license was gone from her bag, and she couldn't understand how it had disappeared. It wasn't until her husband informed her that $10,000 had been stolen from their bank account that the gravity of the situation hit her. The money had been transferred directly from her account into Harris' possession. Harris was no ordinary thief. She was an expert manipulator. She had previously fooled bank tellers into giving her access to other people's accounts by using stolen IDs. When Leah saw a photo of Harris, she immediately recognized her as the woman who had sat beside her on the plane. The police began tracking Jodi Harris, but she was always one step ahead. She moved quickly between Melbourne, Sydney, and Brisbane, using different disguises to avoid capture. Police in multiple states were struggling to pin her down. Harris would slip in and out of cities, leaving no trace behind. Her ability to assume various identities and alter her appearance made her nearly impossible to catch. In one incident, she even stole from a woman who had fallen unconscious in the street. Claiming to be a doctor, Harris stole the woman's ID and bank cards, leaving the victim behind, unaware of the crime. But Jodi Harris was not just a thief. She thrived on the challenge of outsmarting the authorities. She enjoyed the adrenaline of evading capture, and her ego grew with each successful con. Her actions were brazen, as she flaunted her ill-gotten gains by living in luxury, paying for everything in cash. As the police closed in on her, the Herald Sun newspaper ran a story about her exploits, dubbing her the Catch Me If You Can con artist, referencing the famous movie. But even with the growing public attention, Harris continued her criminal activities, toying with the police and leading them on wild chases across the country. Her reign of deception came to an end when she was finally captured in July 2006 after months of evading authorities. The police were able to track her down thanks to her relationship with a police officer, Andrew Twining, who unwittingly helped lead them to her. Jodi Harris's criminal career ended in 2006, but her story remains a testament to the dangers of unchecked ambition and the lengths to which someone can go to deceive others. In March 2006, Jodi Harris, a woman with an extraordinary talent for deception, embarked on a criminal journey across Australia. Known for her ability to steal identities, Harris quickly earned the title of Master of Fraud. Her skill in manipulation was unmatched, and she was always one step ahead of the authorities. The story began when Leah Jury, a flight attendant, was traveling from Melbourne to Brisbane on a relaxing holiday. Leah was in business class, feeling content and excited. However, her peace was interrupted by the unsettling presence of the woman sitting next to her, Jodi Harris. Throughout the flight, Harris kept a close eye on Leah, watching her every move. But Leah thought nothing of it and continued her journey, unaware of the danger sitting beside her. Harris, who was well known for her ability to assume fake identities, told Leah several lies about her life. She claimed to work for a bank and even told Leah that her family owned a seafood business. But it was all a facade. Harris's true intention was far more sinister. She was planning to steal Leah's identity and money. Once the flight landed, Lee went on her cruise, still unaware of what was about to happen. As the days went by, Lee began to feel uneasy. She realized her driver's license had gone missing from her bag, but didn't immediately connect it to Harris. It wasn't until she returned from her cruise and received a call from her husband that she discovered the truth. $10,000 had been stolen from their bank account. The money was taken from Leah's account and transferred into Harris's possession. This wasn't the first time Harris had committed such crimes. She had a long history of identity theft, using stolen IDs to gain access to bank accounts and withdraw large sums of money. Police quickly realized that Harris was a professional fraudster. She had been on the run, evading capture by constantly moving between Sydney, Melbourne, and Brisbane. Harris's ability to blend in and change her appearance was key to her success. She used a variety of disguises, from wigs to different outfits, ensuring that no one could recognize her. She was a master at moving unnoticed, a shadow in a world of chaos. Police found it nearly impossible to catch her as she hopped from one city to the next, leaving no trace behind. But Harris' reign of deception didn't last forever. As the police focused their efforts on tracking her, her activities began to surface in the media. The Herald Sun ran a story on her, calling her the Catch Me If You Can con artist, a nod to the famous movie. The article drew attention, but Harris was not intimidated. Instead, she continued her crimes, stealing from various victims with no regard for the damage she was causing. In July 2006, the authorities finally closed in on Harris. After months of frustration and failed attempts, they were able to track her down, thanks to her relationship with a police officer, Andrew Twining. Harris was arrested, and her crime spree finally came to an end. Despite her capture, the story of Jodi Harris is one of deceit, manipulation, and the lengths she was willing to go to deceive and steal from others. It's a tale of a woman who mastered the art of fraud, but eventually faced the consequences of her actions. In 2006, Jodi Harris was at the peak of her criminal career, evading authorities with ease and leaving a trail of victims in her wake. Known for her cunning and ability to steal identities, she had defrauded people across Australia, including Leah Jury, who had her $10,000 stolen. Harris used a variety of disguises and fake identities, always staying one step ahead of the law. Her ability to manipulate and deceive was unmatched, but Harris's life was about to change. After months of evading capture, she was finally arrested in July 2006. The police, who had been tracking her for a long time, had gathered enough evidence to bring her in. Harris' arrest marked the end of her crime spree and the beginning of a new chapter in her life. After serving her sentence, Jodi Harris went through a transformation. In 2010, she was released from prison and began a new path, focusing on self-improvement. She started studying and even worked on a training video with the Victoria Police to help banks prevent fraud. It seemed that the woman once known as the Queen of Con had found a way to redeem herself. Though her past was filled with crimes, Harris now worked towards building a better future. Her story became one of redemption, proving that even someone with a dark past could change if they decided to turn their life around. What a journey, but this is just the beginning. Want to see how another criminal mastermind played the system and outsmarted the FBI for years? Stay tuned for our next video, The Criminal Mastermind Who Outsmarted the FBI for Years. Make sure to subscribe so you never miss a moment of the action. Trust me, you'll want to be the first to know. Keep watching and hit that bell icon for more insane stories.